And now I'd like to introduce AVP of Marketing and Events for the Las Vegas Metro Chamber of Commerce, Greta Seidman.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here today as we're just a little over a month away from Business Expo to talk to you a little bit about spicing up your expo. So whether you're exhibiting at Expo, decided to sit this year out, or you have another one coming up, these are universal tips and tricks for you to maximize your expo experience without maximizing your budget dollars. So without further ado, let's get started. All right. So before you go into an expo, you should have goals on what you want to accomplish and stick to them. So as you're planning your booth and decided to go ahead and invest in a booth space at a trade show, hopefully it's Expo, think about why you're at the trade show. Are you debuting a new product? Are you reacquainting the market with your existing services? Or are you just trying to get your brand out there? And in some ways, you know, the branding element is always going to be part of what you do at an expo, and it's going to be one of the biggest returns on your investment is people seeing you, seeing your logo, relating your very warm and friendly staff with your brand. That's always a big push. Think about what you want to accomplish. Are you there to meet new contacts, informing the public about something? Are you there to, establish dominion over your competitors? And it shouldn't just be, I want to get more business, because that's very intangible. It's really hard to establish what a good baseline ROI is based on that. So you should really try and make those objectives very, very clear cut, and you should, establish those with your staff and your coworkers as well, so they all know what the point of your company exhibiting is going to be. Also consider, what is a good ROI for this particular trade show? And ROI on a trade show isn't necessarily as simple as I want to sell $15,000 worth of product based on my, 1 day, 2 days at this event. It should be, we should get our brand in front of, X number of people. We should make X number of appointments. We should grow our mailing list by X percent. So there's some really good resources on Exhibitor Live and through GES on how to establish what a good ROI framework is and kind of back in your particular business from there. So you have your booth, you have your goals, you know what type of messaging you're going to have. What will entice people to your booth? The number one thing are useful giveaways and premium items. Everyone loves pens, everyone loves Post-its, but a couple of years ago, I'll never forget this, we were at Expo and one of our companies had these salad shakers with a built-in fork and a dressing container, and they went within 3 hours of the show. And I heard numerous people around the floor, did you get a salad shaker? Are you sure? Did you get a salad shaker? Can you go get me one? It was buzzworthy, and it's something really simple, but think of something that people will use every day. So they'll see your logo every time they pack a salad. And make sure it makes sense for your business. You don't want to have candy if you're a health club, for example. Demos or interaction with your products. The best way for people to really interact with your services and what you do every day is to have them look at it, experience it, feel it, try it out, kind of test drive it for themselves. Make sure you have happy staff members. In a recent survey by GES, 85% of trade show respondents said a warm and engaging staff presence helped them remember a booth. So it's a really big factor, in making sure that your booth presence is memorable. Large graphics and not so much text. As you can see by the little graphic on your screen, you have Kind bars, which obviously, they're health food granola bar, but not a ton of text on them. You see the big logo, and then as you sit down, you can kind of peruse the ingredients list and, the fact that they're organic, non-GMO, that sort of thing. So it's really well planned, but the first thing you see is, oh, this is the Kind bar booth. And it kind of creates an experience at the same time. So people can sit down, interact with the product, probably have a sample, take a look at what they offer that's different in the marketplace than, a normal granola bar. So these are all things that you can incorporate and customize out to your business. Really important, great booths don't have to be expensive. You don't have to have an expensive display to make a splash. They do, expensive displays, you know, if you're going to exhibit frequently or plan on making it a regular occurrence, it might be worthwhile for you to invest in some booth infrastructure like a pop-up exhibitor kit, which are getting, you know, more and more cost effective every day. This particular booth I actually found on Pinterest, and all it is a plastic mat, some reclaimed furniture, some of the exhibitor's products, and that frame is PVC piping and crepe paper. Looks really cool, kind of fits that rustic ambiance of the company itself, and it's very, very cost effective. And it makes sense for their business. This is a greeting card company and a printer that kind of specializes in that shabby chic. Makes sense. Finding inspiration. Just a couple of places that I always try to get to. The Google. You can, you know, worst case scenario, you can Google cost-effective trade show booth setups and see what happens. Pinterest. I was, you know, really excited when I was researching for graphics for this particular presentation that Pinterest has a ton of photos and ideas and infographics about your booth, about different trade show booths, craft show booths, all these things that are really easy to incorporate using very, very easy day-to-day stuff you can find pretty much at any craft store or even a supermarket. Your peers, if you have folks in other markets, you know, folks that you've met at conferences or other trade shows, ask them, you know, what do you do? Is there a fun giveaway? Is there a raffle prize that's really resonated with audiences? And you can also take a look at photo galleries from Preview and Expo. The Chamber puts on these two trade show events every year, and we have photo galleries from each of them with lots of photos of the trade show floor. Exhibitor Live and DisplayToday.com are really popular exhibit-driven websites. That's basically what they do all day, every day, and they always have great inspiration boards. So this particular graphic is a jewelry shop, but the blue and orange bubbles are poster board, and the product displays are burlap and wooden frames. Really, really cute, very eye-catching, and very cost-effective. The backdrop is just the pipe and drape that you normally get at a trade show. And for that, the spice level is Sporty Spice. Okay, so say you'll be there. So creating buzz for your booth is a really big component of getting people before they're at the event and after they arrive to get people towards your booth. Offer teasers of games, offers, and giveaways. Blast on social media and your email newsletters that you'll be there. Tell them exactly where you're going to be on the trade show floor. You know, for Expo, we have each aisleway has a street name and each booth has a number, so you can literally tweet out your booth address to folks. And most trade shows, you know, you get a ticket allotment or special offers to give to clients to get them to your booth. Use those for potential clients, for loyal customers. Do giveaways around them. You know, the sky's the limit on the creativity, and if every exhibitor were to give out their ticket allotments, it usually boosts a trade show attendance anywhere from 20 to 80%. Those are really big numbers to help both you and your fellow exhibitors. Okay, social media, really, really big component of what we do with Preview and Expo, as well as our exhibitors to help build buzz. You know, we've been very fortunate in the last few years. The Chamber has trended both #BizExpo and #PreviewLV in the local market, so that really helps amplify the trade show presence. But for your booth, think about creating a hashtag based on what you'll be doing, products you're going to be displaying or featuring, anything like that. Join the conversation. Usually your trade show organizer or, you know, a central sponsor will have a dedicated hashtag and a few tagged handles. So make sure you join the conversation. Tell people that you're excited that you'll be there, and that kind of helps you join the conversation early in the game. Put out a press release about what you'll be doing. Tons of templates available online for that. Post photos and tag people in them. That's a great way to get people engaged and stay with you throughout the show. So if you take a photo of someone doing a product demo in your booth, ask them for their Twitter handle and tag them in the photo. And, you know, worst case scenario, you tag someone in a photo. Best case scenario, you gain a follower and potentially a client. And interact with other exhibitors and show management. If there's a welcome reception for other exhibitors, or like we do at Expo, an exhibitor workshop, make sure you attend that, because oftentimes on show day, you're so busy and consumed with booth traffic, you don't often get a chance to interact with your fellow exhibitors. And those are folks that have similarly made investments in their company and their business to be there. So kind of creates a level of camaraderie. Okay, other tips and tidbits. These are kind of things that we've collected through the years of having preview and Expo, and also taking a look at some market research from some companies that are dedicated to doing expos and trade shows. Have a show-only special. This is a great way to measure how many people are following up with you and taking advantage of what they saw on the trade show floor. Write notes on business cards. If you're not taking advantage of a badge system to kind of electronically capture information, you're doing the fishbowl kind of method, writing notes on business cards about something memorable or the conversation you had, this person has a dog, or this person had on a really cool tie. Kind of helps jog your memory after the show as well as theirs as you follow up with them. Be comfortable and professional, but neat. You don't want to wear, 8-inch stiletto heels when you're going to be standing all day, but you also, don't want to be in yoga pants and a t-shirt. I also recommend, if you have staff in your booth and you have branded apparel, whether it's a shirt or a hat, that's a really nice way to create consistency in your booth. If you don't, just having them dressed in similar colors or a kind of a uniform for the day, whether, jeans and a special colored shirt or, fun colored shoes, something like that, also helps to create that consistency. And bring samples, product flyers, catalogs, and ways for people to find you after the show. It's going to be no use for for people to say, oh, there was this really cool booth and I got this really cool gumball thing and they had this this software product, and I just don't remember who they are because I didn't have anything I took away from their booth. So make sure you have something for people to actually physically take away with them. Okay. This is about the all-important follow-up. So you've put all of this money into a trade show. You've spent time, resources, money, and energy to have a great presence. You have a memorable booth, great staff interaction. What happens after the show? You don't want that to fall off. So make sure you have a follow-up plan and communicate that with your staff before the show. So, hey, after this, we're going to send a group email out to everyone who stopped by our booth, and then we're going to divide and conquer and make phone calls, or we're going to mail them something, because that seems to be it seems to be growing in popularity that people mail a memento or a thank you note, just because it's something tangible, it's in hand, and it's harder to ignore. It's also becoming less and less common to do it, so make multiple touch points. Email, phone, physical visits, if that's an option, a mailer, something like that. Just make sure that you're not sending out a blanket email and that's the end of it, because oftentimes you do need those multiple touch points. Thank them for stopping by. It's really, really easy. Thank them for just popping in, spending some of their time at your booth. Jog their memory. So this kind of goes back to that, make sure you write down something memorable, or you can jog their memory about what they did in the booth, or if they had a specific experience. Make sure that's a great way for you to make sure you're standing out in the midst of all of that trade show chaos. And track your results. If you have that special offer, or you have something in place to track all of those contacts, touch points, follow-up appointments, the business you've garnered on it. Your trade show providers will want to hear both the positive and the negative. If you have something that could possibly help with retention year over year for exhibitors, they want to hear about it. I know we do every single year. We ask every exhibitor about their experience and what we can do better next year. And they also want to hear testimonials. If you had a great trade show experience and you got a killer new client out of it, or you had press coverage out of it, they want to hear that too. So make sure you track all of your results, not just your appointments, not just, hey, we sent this email out, but we were tagged on social media by this agency, or hey, we got this client based on X, Y, and Z. So make sure you're tracking that and tracking that well. Okay, and with that, does anyone have any questions? All right, and my email address is up on the screen, so if anything pops up while you're driving home tonight in rush hour traffic, or if you happen to hear a Spice Girls song on the radio and decide that you have a question or just had a recommended pun that I can incorporate for next year's, please feel free to email us at any time. We're also happy to talk through if you're going to be at Expo and have an idea on something or kind of want some help in actualizing what your vision is. We're happy to help or point you in the right direction to some other members who can help you as well.
And I want to thank Greta so much for hosting our Chamber University this week. And again, if you'd like to ask her any questions or you want any questions answered from the Chamber side about Expo or trade shows in general, just let us know and we'll get you to the right person. Thank you again, Greta, and remember to join us for our very last Chamber University of the spring semester next week on why public relations, why PR matters. So thanks again, and we will see you all next